You ever feel a quiet void inside but can't quite name it? You just brush it off as a bad day or a weird mood. But what if that off feeling is actually a sign that you're running on empty? We're going to uncover the 5 quiet flags of hidden emptiness and talk about the first steps you can take to start feeling whole again. That feeling of emptiness. It's a strange thing, isn't it? It's not exactly sadness and it's not quite boredom, but it can feel like a mix of both. It's that nagging sense that something is missing, even when your life looks perfectly fine from the outside. You might have a great job, good friends, and a solid routine, but on the inside, there's a hollowness you just can't shake. So many people describe it as feeling like they're just going through the motions, totally disconnected from their own lives. If this is hitting close to home, please know you are not alone. This is a deeply human experience. The problem with this secret emptiness is how easily we dismiss it. We tell ourselves we're just tired, stressed out, or maybe even ungrateful, but ignoring it doesn't work. That void is a signal from deep inside you that something needs attention. It's a profound lack of connection to yourself and your own life. So today we're going to stop dismissing it. We'll walk through 5 of the most common signs you might be experiencing this, and then most importantly, we'll talk about what to do next. Because seeing the problem is the first step, but what you do with that knowledge is what really counts. The first sign, and honestly one of the most confusing, is feeling emotionally numb. It's not that you feel overwhelmingly sad, it's that you don't feel much of anything at all. Big life events that should make you happy, excited, or even heartbroken barely make a dent. It's like watching your life from behind a glass wall, totally detached. You might go to a party and laugh at the right moments, but inside it's just blank. People might even say you seem a little distant, but the truth isn't that you're sad, you're just numb. This emotional flatline can be a defense mechanism. If we've gone through something painful that we haven't dealt with, our minds can mute our feelings to protect us. It's also a key symptom of conditions like depression, where the world just loses its color. You might find yourself thinking, I really should be happy about this, or I should be more upset by this, but the feeling just isn't there. This gap between what you think you should feel and what you actually feel is a classic sign of hidden emptiness. Sign 2, you suffer from chronic boredom and lack of engagement. The second sign is a deep, relentless boredom with life itself. And I'm not talking about a slow Tuesday afternoon. This is a chronic feeling that nothing is interesting or fulfilling anymore. Hobbies that you used to love now feel like chores. Conversations feel flat, work feels pointless, and you're just trying to get through the day. Life can feel like a movie you've already seen 100 times. You know all the lines, you know how it ends, and there are no surprises. This usually comes from a disconnect with your own values. When you're not living a life that feels authentic to you, everything starts to feel meaningless. You might be doing all the things you think you're supposed to do, but if they don't light you up inside, they'll feel hollow. This isn't a sign that you're lazy, it's a sign that you're starved for meaning. You might try to fill that void with endless scrolling or binge watching, but the unfulfilled feeling always comes back because you aren't getting to the root of it, a lack of real purpose in your day-to-day life. Sign 3, you feel persistently lonely even in a crowd. Number 3 is a kind of loneliness that sticks to you even when you're surrounded by people. It's not about being physically alone, it's about feeling emotionally isolated. You can be in a room full of friends or family, people you love, and still feel completely separate, like there's an invisible wall between you and everyone else. This kind of loneliness often comes from feeling like you can't be your true self. If you feel like you have to wear a mask all the time just to be accepted, you can never form real, genuine connections. It's a vicious cycle. Feeling disconnected makes you pull away, and pulling away makes you feel even more alone. This isn't just about missing people, it's about missing that sense of belonging. It's the quiet, painful feeling that if you disappeared, it wouldn't really make a difference to anyone. Sign 4, you have a weak sense of identity or direction. The fourth sign is having a fuzzy or shaky sense of who you are. If someone asks, so what are you all about? Or what do you really want out of life? And your mind goes completely blank. This is it. You feel lost, like you're trying to get somewhere without a map. This can show up as being chronically indecisive, changing your personality depending on who you're with, or just feeling like your life doesn't have a point. This often happens when we've spent way too long putting everyone else's needs and expectations ahead of our own. Maybe you've been so focused on being a good partner, a good employee, or a good son or daughter that you've lost touch with who you are outside of those roles. And without a clear sense of self, it's almost impossible to feel fulfilled. You're just adrift. When you don't know who you are at your core, life feels empty because there's no you at the center giving it meaning. Sign 5, you have an unresolved longing for something more. And the fifth sign is that vague but constant feeling that something big is is missing. It's a quiet, restless dissatisfaction. You could have everything you ever thought you wanted: the job, the relationship, the apartment, and still be haunted by this nagging thought: is this really it? There has to be more than this. This is the very definition of the inner void. To cope with this, a lot of us turn to unhealthy habits. This can look like compulsive shopping, overeating, endlessly scrolling through social media, or using substances to just numb that ache for a little while. These things give you a temporary distraction, a quick hit of pleasure that papers over the emptiness, but they're just a mask. That constant, undefined longing is your soul's way of telling you you're disconnected from what truly matters: a sense of purpose, fulfillment, and real connection. Recognizing yourself in these signs can be tough, but it's also the most important step you can take. You've put a name to it. Now let's talk about what comes next. Filling this emptiness isn't about cramming more stuff into your life. It's about reconnecting with yourself. Here are a few practical first steps you can take. Step 1. Practice self-reflection and journaling. The first step is to just gently turn your attention inward. Emptiness loves to hide in confusion and silence, so just bringing your feelings into the light is incredibly powerful. Start a simple journal. You don't have to write beautifully, you just have to be honest. Acknowledge the feeling without judging yourself for it. Each day, just try to answer a simple question. Maybe, when did I feel that emptiness most today? Or, what's one thing that used to make me happy, even if it doesn't right now? This little practice helps you start to see patterns. It helps untangle that vague, empty feeling into something more specific, like loneliness or boredom. This is how you start to rebuild that relationship with yourself. Step 2. Engage in small, purposeful activities. Okay, the goal here is not to find your grand, singular life's purpose overnight. The pressure is way too much. Instead, focus on taking small, meaningful actions. Purpose isn't something you find, it's something you build, one small step at a time. Make a list of things that sound even a tiny bit interesting, whether it's learning 3 words in a new language, trying one new recipe, or volunteering for just an hour. Pick one and do it. Have zero expectations. The only goal is to engage with the world in a slightly new way and give yourself a small sense of accomplishment. These tiny actions start to push back against boredom and meaninglessness. They remind you that you have the power to create moments of interest in your own life. Step 3. Practice mindfulness and self-compassion. Finally, it's so important to change how you talk to yourself about all of this. Mindfulness is simply the practice of paying attention to right now, without judgment. When you feel that wave of emptiness wash over you, instead of running from it, just take a few deep breaths. Notice the feeling. Where is it in your body? Just observing it can help you feel more grounded and less swept away by it. And please, pair that with self-compassion. Feeling empty is hard, and it's so easy to beat yourself up for it. Instead, try to treat yourself with the same kindness you'd give a friend. Tell yourself that it's okay to feel this way and that you're doing your best. Self-compassion stops the cycle of self-criticism and creates the safe inner space you need to heal. So we've looked at the 5 quiet signs of hidden emptiness: emotional numbness, chronic boredom, feeling lonely in a crowd, losing your sense of self, and that constant search for something more. We've also talked about the first steps back: looking inward through journaling, building purpose through small actions, and treating yourself with kindness. Feeling empty is not a life sentence. It's a signal. It's a call to action from a part of you that's been neglected. It is an invitation to pause, look inward, and start the journey of reconnecting with your own life. This isn't about filling a void with distractions, but about rediscovering the meaning and connection that got buried along the way. It's a gradual process, but every small step you take is a step toward feeling whole again. If this resonated with you, consider sharing your own experience in the comments. Reading through each other's stories can be such a powerful reminder that none of us are alone in feeling this way. And most importantly, if your feelings of emptiness are persistent, overwhelming, please reach out to a mental health professional. Seeking help is an incredible act of strength and self-care. It's a vital step on the path to reclaiming a life that feels good to you.